Khosi has attracted some serious interest from Europe, but Kaizer Chiefs have seen this coming and have acted fast. We are also going to talk about whether or not Kaizer Chiefs are about to get a backdoor entrance to the MTN 8, and Pule Modi has gotten the reward that he deserves. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I'm Pilo, I'm your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. Our first story today is about Pule Modi, who was voted as the Nedbank Cup player of the tournament. And you know, when we talk about Pule Modi as a winger, we know what he can do, with the ball. He can dribble, he can skin past you. But that has not been the issue with Modi throughout the season. Well, under Nabi anyways, because remember, for those of you who've been watching this channel for over 2 years, when I was playing under Johnson, I was complaining, or I always complain about Modi looks scared. He gets the ball and he passes it back. But the coach, I see that he told him, started telling him to go forward. I have a player like that, his name is Yamgel. He's been having a problem of he's a winger, gets the ball and he wants to pass it back. I'm like, mate, you're a winger, you're isolated with the right back, take him on. And you see him trying to do that much more often. And as you find out, they actually can dribble past a player. And you see the same thing with Modi. He dribbles past people and then is able to create chances. The problem has been that in the league, he does not do that as often. And as a result, he's not, in the league, he will dribble, but then when he has to finish, he doesn't finish. But in the Nedbank Cup, he did that, and he was very good at also just creating chances, and on top of that, being at the end of the chances. So shout out to him. I hope that this is a motivation that he needs to go to the next level. Let's talk about Khosi Ngiphile Ubabungcobo. So, stories Khosi Ngiphile Ngcobo, he is is contracted to Kaizer Chiefs on his current contract until June 2026. So June 2026, he could leave Chiefs for free. But Kaizer Chiefs on his contract, they put an option to extend by a further year. Now, obviously, Chiefs have a reputation, and that means scouts are watching Kaizer Chiefs matches. And also in the European tour, he played a very good. He had a very good preseason. And as a result of this, a lot of teams looked at him and they were like, it's actually, some teams, not a lot, some teams look at him and like, he might actually be a good player. But then Kaizer Chiefs decided that since they have an option to extend by a further year, they've done exactly that. Now, I like this by Chiefs because they've not looked at his preseason and thought, okay, his contract ends in 2026, so he's performing. Let's give him a 3-year contract. But they are saying, you're not going to live for free in 2026, but we are keeping you just to see if you do well. So if he performs really well this season and we enter the final year of his contract, which will be in 2027, if he plays really well, then Kaizer Chiefs can extend his contract. Because we've seen players, I hope that it's not the case with him either. We've seen players when they are towards the end of their contracts and they perform, right? There we go. You see players performing really well, only to find Uguti they are only performing that way because their contract is coming to an end. And basically what they are doing, they are playing for a new contract. So I don't know, maybe that's the case with Ngcobo, maybe it's not. I hope it's not. So they are smart. They are doing smart business. Another smart business to do would be to subscribe to the channel. We are really trying to get 200,000 subscribers. What did I say? Before the end of the season? Yes, before the end of the season. So you guys have been subscribing, have been liking the video. So just continue doing that. And now to the big story of that is currently happening right now, which might affect Kaizer Chiefs as well, and just proves that the league is run like a circus. So the story starts here. I need to explain this and explain the complexities. So Lerumo United are about to buy status of Moroka Swallows or Swallows FC. They buy the status of Swallows, right? Swallows ceases to exist, Lerumo ceases to exist. Yeah? So they get this team and then they change the name to Marumo Gallants, right? So now we have two teams that have ceased to exist so that Marumo Gallants can now exist, right? Complicated. Marumo Gallants plays and then they finish in the top 8. Cape Town City get relegated from the PSL. And now Cape Town City are saying, hey, the ruling says that if you're a team and you field an ineligible player, you are supposed to either, the rule is you forfeit the points. So all the points that you played where this ineligible player was involved, they are going to be taken away from you. And by that logic, Cape Town City are looking at them and thinking, if Marumo Gallants were to lose all their points, what would happen is they would get relegated and Cape Town City would be reinstated to the league. So this sounded ridiculous because, first of all, who was supposed to offer clearance? Was it supposed to be Swallows? Swallows ceased to exist. So how are they going to give clearance? The rule is if a new player is signed by a team in the PSL, the team from the team from which the player comes from must give a clearance to say, okay, we've sold this player, or this player no longer plays for us. He's clear, hence the name clearance. They're clearing him like he's clear to do whatever he wants. But Umpambaniso of Marumo Gallants did not have that particular clearance. As such, he is ineligible. Below, what does this have to do with Kaizer Chiefs? Remember what I said. Kaizer Chiefs are number 9 on the log. Marumo Gallants is in the top 8. So if Marumo Gallants were to be charged and they were to be docked, their points were to be docked, what would then happen is that Chiefs would then just swoop in and become part of the top 8. I know it's a long shot and it sounds desperate, but it's a reality. Now, I do not want this, right? Because I think it's such a stupid technicality. I would get it if the player moved from Amazulu and went to Marumo Gallants without a clearance. But basically what happened here is that the player moved with Marumo Gallants when they bought the status of Swallows FC. So it technically didn't change the team. But then they are pulling a loophole that says, no, but you didn't get a clearance from the previous club. But the question is, what previous club? Do you understand? So that is the technicality, and that is how Kaizer Chiefs are looking at this, and they are probably laughing, thinking to themselves, we might get what's this thing? We might get to the top 8. But I don't think this would make any sense, because then what would happen is that teams will end up pulling all these technicalities that they can find to make sure that it was Leruma United, it wasn't Lerumo Gallants. So I wouldn't like to see this, and I wouldn't like to see Chiefs making it to the top 8 in that way. But what do you guys think? Teams should follow the rules, so you don't care, you just want to play top 8? Because there was a launch of the MTN 8 as well, and all the teams that are involved were participating. Now, Mazola is saying there is a possibility, because Sundowns last time this happened, when they fielded an ineligible player, what Sundowns did, or how they were fined, they were fined. That's what happened. No points were docked, and that was it. But then they can argue that them in specific, in their context, it was one game. But these ones he sat 14 times on the bench. I think he had 26 appearances. Now that's a lot. If you count the games that he wasn't in, they would only get 4 points. Even though he wasn't scoring every game or assisting every game, the fact that he was there means he was ineligible and they did something illegal. So what do you guys think will happen here? I know this is not just about Kaizer Chiefs. Do you think, since the PSL has charged them and they said they are guilty, do you think that the PSL will be fair to them and just make them pay money? Would that be fair even to Cape Town City, because they see themselves as victims, but they couldn't even beat Orbit College to stay in the league? You guys will let me know in the comment section. But before you leave, there's a video here. I'm going to leave space. I did a video when I was on Goal, or with Goal rather. I work with Goal a lot. So go check this video out, where we're talking about the team of the season from the previous season that we just came back from. Check it. It's interesting. I am talking, and we're just interacting about the game. So please go check it out. And when you get there, say we're here for Mpilo, right? So manfuna bangiholele more money. Go and watch this video and say we're here for Mpilo. Danko, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoy.